We are now 0 for 2 in massive UFC fights this year, guys. It is official. Like, Jon Jones is basically saying with everything in his power, he doesn't want to fight Tom Aspinall. And it seems like the UFC could be holding back a lot of information about the fight, and maybe some of what Jon Jones has said in private, because if you ask the UFC, right, they have said that this fight's going to 100% happen. Jon Jones wants to fight Tom Aspinall. He's been saying it behind the scenes.
Would you guarantee 100% we see that fight?
Yeah, I'll say 100%. I'm Aspinall. I didn't read it. I told you guys already, we'll get Aspinall versus Jones done. Jon Jones versus the heavyweight fight will happen. Just relax. I'll announce that soon.
Well, Jon Jones posted a lot on Twitter, basically saying the opposite. I will say, though, at the end, there is a slight glimmer of hope that I will give you guys. You guys are hoping for this. But I have accepted a few months ago, right? And normally, I am very optimistic with these fights. I have been known at times to be a little delusional, guys. But even myself, I have been saying Jon Jones is not going to fight Tom Aspinall, guys. This is another installation of Duck Watch, guys. Let's see what Jon Jones has been up to on Twitter, because he has posted a lot, including saying he is done with fighting. So it all started with this video of Jon Jones and a coconut, guys. This is how, you know, it has spiraled to us not getting this fight. This is how it started. Jon Jones posted this basically in the middle of the night, our time. He's in Thailand. He's filming some sort of show with Nate Diaz. It's like some Russian Ultimate Fighter spin-off kind of thing. So yeah, so he's just been posting a lot of vacation videos. And keep in mind, guys, Jon Jones is probably getting paid a lot of money to do this show. So I think that is, you know, what he's alluding to here. He's saying, look, I got other options. I don't have to fight to make a lot of money. So bring me a lot of money. Or is this just an excuse because he doesn't want to fight Tom Aspinall? So this is Jon right now with this coconut.
I'm over here
I don't know
sipping
if
on
it's supposed to be
coconut.
frozen.
Talk about when you gonna fight.
Yeah, just trolling basically us, laughing at all of us that have just been hoping for this fight, that have been, you know, trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. And yeah, I mean, honestly, Jon Jones trolling like this actually does kind of give me more faith that the fight is going to happen, because, like, why are you, you know, kind of putting gasoline on the fire, right? Unless you want something to happen, whether that be the UFC to offer more money, or it be, I don't know, just more fan interest. But I still, like I said, if I were to take a bet, I don't think this fight is going to happen. Like I said, I think I've said this for a long time. I said, I think this is a terrible matchup for Jon Jones. And I think Jon Jones knows that. I don't think he finds it worth it to, you know, retire not undefeated. But then I direct you to the good stuff, okay? May 19th, he also tweeted out some stuff. He said, been out here in Thailand, enjoying life, stuffing my face every day, and I swear I'm losing weight somehow. The quality of food here is amazing and so delicious. And look, obviously, he knows that the comments are going to be like stuff like this, like, have you tried the duck? And he's trolling, right? I think he's, you know, he's expecting this kind of response, and he goes on to reply to people. Someone tweeted at Jon saying, enjoying your last days as champ before being stripped, and Jon Jones replied, strip? Lol, do I come across as the type of person who cares about things like that? And I mean, yeah, I don't think so. Jon Jones has been stripped so many times in his career at this point, it's probably meaningless for him. And this is what I think is worrying most people, including myself, right? So someone says, yes, otherwise you'd have to vacate the belt because you don't have plans to fight Tom. And then he said, y'all are barking up the wrong tree. I told the UFC my plans a long time ago. I have no clue why they haven't shared them with you guys yet. And I mean, the only thing that the UFC has shared, guys, is this fight's 100% happening. Jon Jones, you know, the fight's gonna happen, you know, it's just a matter of when, right? That this is a pretty much done deal. However, Jon Jones is saying, look, you know, the UFC isn't sharing my plans, so clearly the UFC isn't sharing his plans, so clearly his plans isn't to fight. At least that's not what he's telling the UFC, or he's lying. Someone has to be lying here. It's either the UFC or Jon Jones, and I'd probably guess it's Jon Jones. It makes sense that the UFC is trying to add even more fan pressure onto Jon Jones, I think, but ultimately, maybe that, you know, the UFC just think everything's gonna work out and they'll get Jon Jones to fight at the end of the day. I just don't see that being possible. So if he's being legit, I highly doubt this fight's happening at this point. I think we should probably talk about, you know, stripping Jon Jones legitimately. We're at a point now where it's like, dude, I mean, it's about to be June. It kind of reminds me of when Dana White was like desperately trying to get Khabib out of retirement. He kept saying, nah, Khabib is not done. He's definitely gonna fight. And he was like, I know he is. He's literally like using the same language. And obviously, Khabib never came out of retirement. I mean, it was like nowhere close. And Khabib has never fought to this day. And it seems like we're just delaying the inevitable at this point. Someone also says, what exactly are your plans? He says to continue monetizing on this amazing brand that I've created, and you know, just replying to more shit, like, you know, like someone says, LMAO, shut the fuck up, and he says, this attitude right here is making me the very wealthy man. This desperation is incredibly lucrative, so thank you, keep it coming. Yeah, basically throwing salt in the wound of all of, I guess, the Jon Jones haters and the people that want this fight. And yeah, just so, you know, just basically once again saying, you know, like, you know, haters are getting him paid, this, that, and pretty just, you know, normal stuff. And yeah, then he just goes on to reply to more random shit, right? And that's basically it. And then he also uploaded this.
Life is good.
Oh my god.
This is my work office.
So this is, I think, the Ultimate Fighter spin-off type thing that he's doing with Nate Diaz. Yeah, obviously, look, Jon Jones showing, look, he has options. He doesn't have to fight. He is doing this, you know, Ultimate Fighter spin-off, reboot, I should really call it a rip-off, not a spin-off, but he's doing this, and he's probably making a huge bag doing it. So, I mean, this just shows how far we are from the, you know, Tom Aspinall fight. But there's a lot more stuff, guys, because if you thought that was bad, there's a lot more negative signs that we're going to have to break down. So this is a FaceTime that Jon Jones has with Shamil Gadzhiev, right? And he is talking to him, and, you know, Shamil is talking about Jon Jones being active, and you got to listen to what Jon Jones replies because it is very telling.
How are you, bro?
So they're on the phone right now.
Good, my man. I'm excited. I'm excited to see you again.
Yeah, see, but you're still active. 10 years left.
He said you got 10 years left, but you're still active.
Oh, yeah, I'm done.
And he says, I'm done. Not good. That is not what you want to hear, guys. I mean, Jon Jones is basically saying that he's like done from fighting, retired. And I mean, if you look at his actions, I mean, it's not that hard to believe. Like, he hasn't talked about fighting. If you look at his last fight week when he fought, you know, Stipe, he basically said he was done, most likely. So this isn't something like Jon Jones has been pretending, oh no, I'm going to come back, this and that. And it just continues to be more and more negative signs, guys. So this is where you got to feel really bad for Tom Aspinall because, like I said, Jon Jones replies to an Instagram comment and, you know, this guy says, bro, really wasted Tom's prime like that. No respect at all. And Jon basically says, cry more. I mean, basically no respect. Like, he does not give a fuck. No apologies. And this isn't like a Michael Chandler situation where Michael Chandler waited, you know, choosingly waited for Conor McGregor for years just to never get this fight. Tom Aspinall said, look, he doesn't have to fight Jon Jones. He just wants to fight for that title, something he's entitled to. Now, the only hope we have is this post by Jon Jones from Instagram where he posted, I guess, on Instagram and said, what I feel like returning to the UFC after some much needed downtime. So he's saying he's going to return, and it's these videos with these dogs going crazy, and this dog is attacking everybody. So hopefully, you know, Tom Aspinall is in that pack of dogs. And if he turns into a dog and not a duck, you know, I will apologize to Jon Jones right here because I'll be happy. I mean, we have taken the Islam Ilya hit. We cannot take another hit, but I think more likely than not we are going to. And it's become a serious conversation. When do we start talking about stripping Jon Jones? I mean, Jon Jones fought Cyril Gane. That was like the last legit contender that fought for a belt. I mean, Stipe, he's a legend, but come on, he didn't deserve a title shot. There was other people in line. Most importantly, Tom Aspinall, right? So at this point, I think it's up to Tom. If Tom says, yo, look, time to strip this guy, let me move on, let me actually fight for a belt, and I think it's time to do that, right? I mean, at this point, I think, you know, the earliest Tom would be able to fight would probably be, you know, fall anyway. So maybe they wait till July and they actually finally pull the trigger. But I mean, if they actually, you know, if Jon Jones is still the champ and without, you know, any confirmation of this Tom Aspinall fight in September, that is just insane. And you're officially pushing it way past the limits, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you guys think we're going to see this fight? Check out my last video where I talked about Jack Della Madalena's coach talking about the Islam Makhachev fight, some of the interesting things that he pointed out. You guys are the best fan base MMA. Hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share, and I'll see you guys in the next one.